Hello, my name is Tyler, and today we're going to be showing you how to install your Fitness Together custom cut logo onto your wall. So a few things to talk about before we start. We're going to go through what is going to come in the kit for just the logo, as well as some tools that you're going to need to either get, or maybe you have them already, for the installation. So to start, what is going to come in your kit? You're going to have your custom cut surfboard logo. It's got a hanging apparatus in the back, which we'll go over in a moment. And you're going to have your dimensional letters here that all have a double-sided tape on the back, and that is going to aid in installation. We have a printout here of some of the measurements that we'll go over again in a moment. A template for our letters, and that's what's going to come in the box. And so these tools over here, again, maybe you have them, some things you may have to get. A drill for putting the hanging system up, some masking tape, tape measure, some drywall anchors, and some drywall screws, scissors, some type of a credit card, ID, anything will really work. This is going to help us stick the template onto the wall for the letters, a level, and a hammer. So to start, we are going to look at the back of our surfboard here and look at how this gets hung. So we've got two pieces, top and bottom cleat, and then a spacer at the bottom. So this piece that's just going to be loose in there is what's going to actually hang the surfboard up. So first what we need to do is either take this measurement or rely on me that it's going to be 5 inches down. From the top is where you're going to want to put this thing at. So what I would do first is probably take this over and have a friend help you, or maybe you can just hold it up and decide where you want to put it on the wall. These aren't too heavy, but still a little bit, so be careful. So I decide that I want that thing right there. So I'm going to take my pencil, I'm going to make a real light mark at the top of this thing. So now we can take this down, and we know that it's going to end up at the same height as where our mark is at. So now that we have our mark, we can take our tape measure and measure down from that 5.5 inches, and we can make another mark there. Okay, so that is where our cleat is going to go. Next step is going to be get your level and strike yourself a line, a straight line, keeping in mind that all this is going to be covered up, so if we write on the wall a little bit, not that big of a deal. So I've got this lined up at the mark where I want my cleat to be. Making sure this is level, we can basically just draw a line on the wall. So now we've got a point for our cleat. Now is where the masking tape comes into play. So temporarily, we're going to just kind of tack this thing on the wall. So grab a couple pieces of masking tape. And we are going to put this, you'll see there's some holes in here that'll tell us which way we put this thing on. So we're going to get this thing where we want it here on our level line. And we are going to temporarily tape that to the wall. Just kind of get it on place. We're going to pull this down in a minute. So the next thing to do is to grab our little nail, or anything really would work, a pin, something. We're just making a mark with this. So we'll go to our pre-drilled holes. It's going to be three holes. And we are going to just kind of, pull that, tap it in, and then pull it back out. We're just, again, making a mark. And then one on the end. Pull that out. Oop, that might fall down, but that's okay because we're done. So we've got 3 basically little pinholes right here. That's going to tell us where we're going to put our drywall anchors. So the next thing we need to do is to grab the anchors and get them now in our holes that we've already pre-drilled. Nice and snug against the wall. So we have our 3 drywall anchors in the wall, and now we can take our cleat back. I'm going to get this tape off of here. And there is some tape on the back if you'd like to, you know, put it on the wall just for a moment before we put the screws in. It's not really necessary, but we'll stick it down there just for the time being. So we'll line up our holes on our cleat with the holes of the drywall anchors that we just put in. Just kind of tack that up there, just sort of temporarily. Now we grab our drywall screws, and that's what's going to hold this thing together. So now we're going through the cleat into the anchor, nice and snug against the wall. So now this thing's nice and secure, just exactly where we want it on the wall. Got a nice even space here. For us to then just kind of slide our surfboard right over the top. So these two things sort of lock together. There's a similar piece on the back here that has a channel. It's kind of hard to see, I think, on the camera. This down here merely just keeps it the same distance away from the wall on the top as it is in the bottom. So we should be able to just get up there and kind of get that thing where we want. You'll feel it kind of lock in place. And so we're pretty much set now. Because it's a cleat, and we can sort of move this thing whichever way we want, left a little bit, right a little bit. You know, if we've got ourselves a little off center, we can kind of cheat this thing back and forth with no harm. So now this thing is securely on the wall and looking good. So now that we've got the surfboard on the wall and it's mounted and secure, the next thing we're going to want to